Lesbians get arrested for DUI and punching a cop. Well, look, this channel isn't called Attorney Reacts for nothing, so let's get started. Oh, man.
Show me some hands out the window. What is going on?
She is very drunk coming home from the...
Oh, okay. Well, that was quick. You know, you don't have a right against self-incrimination if you just volunteer it or your friend volunteers it. I wonder if this lady is the only one who's drunk. Let's see.
Anybody got any weapons? Roll this window down. Roll this window down.
She is very drunk, like blacked out. No one has a gun. No one has a knife. No weapons.
Okay.
I just want to get her drunk home. She is out on bond.
Where is she?
Oh,
What do you mean?
oh, no. She's out on bond. This lady is nice. She is making it too easy on this officer. I mean, you gotta let him do his job. He's trained to investigate, and you just hand him everything.
She's in the backseat. Please don't touch her. She is blacked out. She doesn't need any kind of aggression, but she is so blacked out at the moment. She don't know who or what is with. I'm her girlfriend, and she doesn't even realize who I am right now. I just want to get her home before she goes to jail.
All right, let me have your ID.
Can we just take a minute here? She wants to get her home before she goes to jail. I get it. We've all been there, I guess.
Don't do it.
Step out for me, too.
Hey, baby.
Please don't.
Nobody hit me in the face.
Please don't take her to jail, man.
Where was the fight?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. She's been very aggressive, but there hasn't been any fight. I mean, there's been a lot of, like, me trying to get her in the car so I can get her. Do what? She was at Dogs.
Is that where you picked her up at?
Yes.
Okay. Is that where the fight was?
I don't know. I literally just...
Did anything happen at the church? Why did y'all end up at the church?
I literally drove up the street and she's like, I'm getting out of the car. So, of course, I don't want her jumping out of the car while we're going down the road. So I pulled over, please don't mess with her. I really don't want her to get aggressive with anybody.
They're professionals. They know what they're doing. They'll take care of her.
She's really drunk and don't realize that, and I don't want her to get any type of aggression towards you guys. Please don't.
Hey, whoa.
I promise she doesn't know she's locked out. She doesn't know. She doesn't know.
Just
She
settle
doesn't
down.
know, I promise.
Settle down.
She doesn't know.
Stay back.
She doesn't know, I promise. I just want to get her home.
Settle down.
5 times?
I promise she doesn't know, though.
7?
She doesn't know they called the cops, man. She doesn't know. Please
9?
don't
All right,
take
so-
her. I just want to take her
Hey, she
home.
just hit an officer in the face. She's going
She doesn't know. She doesn't
10?
know. I promise.
Can I get a she doesn't know
Over here to the car,
Please
please.
don't take her to jail.
Over here to the car,
man.
please. Give me some information. Over here.
Please don't take her to jail, man.
Ma'am,
She's blacked out.
listen to me
That
real
counts.
close, okay? It's too late for her. All right?
Why?
All right,
Why?
let's-
I just wanted to take
It's
her
time for us to
home.
talk about you. Come on.
Oh,
All right.
Here
What
we
is your
go.
name?
Amanda.
Amanda what? What's your birthday, Amanda?
5.
Address?
whoa.
God, man.
Address?
5 Georgia. She's going to jail right now. She just punched a cop in the damn face, man.
All right. Can we talk?
What? Yes, man.
Last 4 of your phone number.
She is literally like at a point. I'm her girlfriend. She has never been physically aggressive towards me, but she is like gone. She wouldn't know the difference between I'm her girlfriend, whether you're the cops. She is gone. She needs to be put in bed and like put to sleep.
It doesn't work like that. She's responsible for her actions whether she's
That's
intoxicated or not.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's great.
You hit an officer in the face, you're responsible for it. I don't care how much drugs, how much dope, how much alcohol you've had. That's the way that
don't make much
works.
sense, man. Have you ever gotten drunk before?
Sure, but I
Have
did
you
it
ever got blacked
responsibly.
out drunk to the point where you didn't know what the hell was going on?
I haven't. I can't
Right.
say that I
'Cause
have.
that's an
Because I'm a responsible
irresponsible
person.
point of drinking.
Okay, this is a really weird argument. She is apparently arguing in favor of people who are blacked out drunk to be able to do whatever they want to do because it's not really them. They don't know. And the officer, well, he just thinks cops don't want to be punched in the face. I don't know. Who's right? Who can say?
Agree, but once you're to that point, you don't know what the hell's going on between you. And I don't excuse.
Okay, she's right. You don't know what's going on, but it's time for me to talk a little law with you guys. So there is such a thing as involuntary intoxication, and that is if someone drugs you into getting so impaired that you don't know what you've done. That is actually a legitimate defense to all kinds of crimes. Now, it's almost impossible to prove because keep in mind that you are not going to be able to prove it because you are the one who was intoxicated. You're the one who doesn't know what's happening. When you voluntarily get impaired, you are 100% responsible legally for what you do while you are impaired. If you are involuntarily impaired, then you are not responsible. I don't want to say at all, but it's a pretty good defense. Although it's a theoretical defense and no one can hardly ever use it. And you know what? I want to hear the rest of this argument between these two people.
The decision to get that drunk. She made the decision to hit an officer in the face. So now she's going to
Okay, now I disagree with the cop. I think, yes, she made the decision to get that drunk. I get that. Now, once she's intoxicated, if she is so impaired that she doesn't know what she's doing, she's not making a decision to punch the cop in the face. However, because she made the decision to get impaired, she's charged with the actions that she did while she was impaired. So it's kind of a technical loss for her, but still a loss.
for the consequences for that. So, sorry.
Tell me a little bit about what happened today.
I dropped my girlfriend off there. We bought a bottle before we went there. I've had 2 shots tonight.
Okay.
I dropped my girlfriend off there. I heard that there was some issue going on, so I walked into the bar.
Okay.
I tried to get her into my vehicle. Obviously, she is way too drunk to deal with whatever situation is going on.
Okay.
I finally get her in my car. We start going down the road. She tries to get out of my vehicle.
Okay.
So I pull over at this church. She gets completely out of the vehicle. Of course, I'm like, please get in. Let me get you home before the police get involved. She will not get in my vehicle. I finally, physically, pick her up and snatch her in my car. And, of course, as soon as I go down the road, the cops shot me right time.
Okay. So, how much did you have to drink at the bar?
I've had 2 shots tonight.
2 shots? About how long ago was that?
Like 45 minutes ago, maybe an
5
hour.
minutes ago? Do you
Oh, Okay, so she said that she had 2 shots and it was 45 minutes ago. That could mean, and I'm just spitballing here, she's about to fail a breathalyzer. But what do I know? This is a blind react, so we'll see.
All right. So you mind if I just look at your eyes and make sure you are safe to operate the vehicle? Is that fine with you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. So there's a couple tests, okay? It's called standardized filter body, okay? I'm going to ask if you would like to voluntarily do these tests to make sure you're safe to operate the vehicle, okay? Depending on what we see on the first one, okay, the first test is called HGM, which is a horizontal gaze and nystagmus test, okay? Well, it is an involuntary jerking of the eyes that you cannot control if you're under the influence. So I will be looking at that, okay? If I feel the need to proceed, then we're going to go do a walk and turn test, and we're going to do a one-leg stand test, okay?
Real quick, I just wanted to say that Attorney Tom / Attorney Reacts content is now on Spotify. We just launched a partnered show, link in the description. Go check it out. Now, back to the video.
So this has been interesting to me because he's outlined for her the test that he's going to give her. And he's starting with the horizontal gaze test. That test is actually pretty hard for officers to correctly administer in the field. A lot of them think that they're doing it correctly. And if that's the only test that someone takes in the field, it's pretty easy for a talented defense attorney to prove that they didn't do it correctly. But one of the things that I am interested in as a lawyer is that before he has told her to do these things, he's basically asked her, do you agree to do them? Now, in almost every single state, if you say, no, I'm not going to take those tests, that is an offense that is the exact same gravity as the DUI you could be charged with if you didn't take the test. So in most states, let's say if your first DUI is like 10 days in jail, if you are pulled over, suspected of DUI, and you refuse to take those tests, you can get 10 days in jail, even if they don't convict you of DUI. Moreover, the second time you get pulled over for DUI, that refusal to take the test is treated as a prior DUI in some states. I don't know if that's fair or not, but that's the way it is.
Can you see the tip of my finger?
Yes, sir.
Follow that. Eyes only without moving your head, okay? That's what I want you to do. Tip of my finger. Eyes. Move your eyes and not your head. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take 9 toe steps, okay? Up into your nice.
So clearly, because they're doing the step test now, the officer thinks that she did not unambiguously pass that test. Now, I was a little frustrated that the body cam footage turned away from her because if she were to go to trial, having the footage of the entire test would be helpful either to her defense if it was administered improperly or to her conviction if it was in fact administered properly. Nevertheless, it did not seem to get her off the hook, and so now we're going to watch the walking test. Woo. Whoa.
Okay.
She didn't even turn around and go back.
So this next test is called the one leg stand.
She's
All right.
looking like she did not
So I
pass
want you
the
to put both
walking
your feet
test
together
to
with your
me.
hands out your sides, okay? Alrighty. So when you pick your foot up, that's when we're gonna start, okay? Go ahead.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005.
Doing pretty good.
1007, 1008.
Doing pretty good.
1010, 1018, 1019, 1020, 1021.
Okay, you can stop. Alright, just walk back to the front of my vehicle with that off.
All right, that was a good performance by her. I'd say she did better there than she did on the walking test. But I do think she's about to blow. So one of the reasons that officers will do field tests on you like that, performance test, before they do the breathalyzer test, is that they want to reduce the risk that you could successfully argue that the test that they administered was not fair. So like if they give you 4 tests and you fail all 4 of them, well, that's a bad look. So if they've established that you can't pass the balance test or you failed the eye test, then that lends more credibility to the outcome of this breathalyzer. They could start with the breathalyzer, but I think it makes more sense to do it the way that they've done it here if you're trying to get a conviction.
All right. Miss Daniels, a little bit of legal limit, okay? You can turn around for you.
So they did not tell her what she blew, but they told her that she was over the limit and they're arresting her now. One of the things that's interesting is that if you are a hardcore drinker, if you get drunk every day, your tolerance for having alcohol in your system and being able to pass like the walking test or the balance test, or maybe even the eye test, is going to be far greater than someone who's just an occasional drinker who doesn't have a lot of experience drinking lots of alcohol. However, the breathalyzer is the breathalyzer. It literally doesn't matter how functional you are when you are inebriated. The amount of alcohol that comes through in your breath is just the same. And the legal limit in almost every state is 0.08%. And she failed that. And that's not good. Not good for her, but it's good to get people like that off the road for sure. And I have some great news. I'm expecting she's gonna be reunited with her girlfriend soon.
You're under the influence of alcohol or drugs. You refuse to testing, you pull the driver's license or privilege to drive on the highways of the state will be suspended for a minimum period of 1 year. Your refusal to submit to blood or urine testing may be offered into evidence against you at trial.
So right now he's reading her rights about what's going to happen when they get to the jail, because they're telling her that she's either going to have to give a blood sample or a urine sample, which is actually way more reliable than the breathalyzer or the field test. But I should say this. Those field tests matter also for someone who maybe has had just a tiny bit of alcohol, but maybe has been smoking some pot or is on some drugs, because you can fail those sobriety tests, which involve motion, which involve control of your body, and still pass the field sobriety test. So there's a reason for officers to do all of those things. And then, of course, if they screen your blood, they're going to find out everything that's in there.
I just need a yes or a no, verbal yes or no. I'm just letting you know you are giving me consent to draw your blood, correct? Okay.
Like many states, Georgia apparently has a law that says if we want to take your blood and you don't let us, we're going to find you guilty of something called refusal to consent to the blood test. And like I was saying earlier, that's going to get you sentenced very, very, very similar to a DUI.
Hear that?
Amanda was charged with DUI. The status of her girlfriend, Bethany's charges, isn't known at this time.
Well, that was an interesting little crash course in roadside DWI and DUI testing. I thought that the officers treated these ladies respectfully and fair. They seem like they know the law, and they seem like they were going to enforce it fairly against both of them. I was glad to see that when the drunk lady struck the police officers, they didn't fight back. Some police officers are like that. Others, not so much. But what I would like to know is what you thought of this arrest. Is there anyone watching this video that thinks that her girlfriend should not be responsible for her actions regarding the cops because she was so intoxicated? I've told you how I think that will or won't hold up in court, but I'm a lawyer. Maybe I don't have the most empathetic heart. I don't know. Write a comment that convinces me that she is not guilty. I'll read all the comments and I'll see if you can change my mind. I am happy that you watched this video, but I want you to watch these other ones too and tell me what you think. See you later. Bye.
Big verdict.